Tonight we're doing something a little different. This is our very first concert together.
Yeah.
It's at a place called Cativo in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We're seeing a friend of Jessica.
Grendel.
A band called Grendel. It's an industrial band, right?
Yes.
I'm not familiar with them, but you're friends with them, right?
Yes.
You excited?
I'm excited.
When was the last time you've seen them?
And their music is amazing. It's
been a while.
At least 3 years.
Well, that's going to change tonight.
I know.
Better be a good show.
It is. They're amazing. They're amazing.
Years ago, whenever I used to live here in Pittsburgh, been here once before, so it's been a while. It's like a trip down memory lane. Lane. You know me, I always say things a little funny. The show starts at 8. Let's go inside.
Wherever I come, bad luck is coming my way. Wherever I go, hard luck is there to stay. Good luck never stays a day. Bad luck's always coming my way.
So we do this thing called the Grimm-Interview, and it's really just one important question, which is, what is the most interesting or odd thing you've experienced while on tour?
I think the most interesting and odd thing I've experienced up to now, sorry my voice is a bit bad, the most interesting and odd thing I've experienced up to now has been in Edinburgh. I was visiting the St Mary King's Close, which is, let me explain.
Yes.
Edinburgh is built in a valley.
Okay.
And the old town was built on the valley floor, so it goes along with the valley. The plague in, I believe, 1348 hits the UK, and tons of people died. It just almost wiped out the population. So what they did is they had to quarantine these neighborhoods. So what they did was they bricked them up, kept these people inside, kept little spaces where they could feed food through, a family could give them food.
So like a prison.
Yeah, they were locked into these neighborhoods. And after a while, of course, because they didn't have a cure for the plague, everyone died in these neighborhoods. So they started building the new buildings on top of the old town.
Oh my.
So you've got this valley going down like that, and the new town built flat on top. It's crazy. Now the crazy thing is that over the hundreds of years, people forgot about this. So people forgot that the old town was there. And until
They
the
discovered it again.
the person went through their basement, tried to extend their basement down, and suddenly went into another room and was like, what the hell is this? So he went through and discovered this whole old town under there. But some people refer to parts of it as the crypts as well.
Yeah.
And
I think some people just call it like an underground city.
Or underground city,
Yeah.
And I've seen a fair amount of this, and there is an energy about this place. It's
Scary.
I've been in one part of the what they call the crypts, which is just basically a neighbourhood underground, and there was a very strange, threatening vibe there. Not pleasant. However, went to Mary King's Close, which is a neighbourhood which they've kind of done up. They've spruced it up.
Yeah.
And you can go in there and you're walking down a street and you look up and you see the foundation of the new buildings above you, which is extraordinary.
Oh wow.
Now,
I didn't know it was so deep, the old city. Like they really just city and then city.
yeah, they just
So you can just
built,
walk right through.
Yeah, they just built the new town right on top. And we were on this guided tour. It was me, myself, my old drummer, and another bandmate, and a bunch of other people. Now we were in this room, and we were being told a little bit about the history, and all of a sudden I feel a tug on the back of my t-shirt, two tugs, and some tapping. So, yeah, instinctively I turn around expecting to see a small kid.
Right.
And there wasn't a small kid.
No.
There was nothing there. So I thought, right, it must have been a bit of ceiling that fell down.
Is this well lit while you're going through? Is it still kind of
it's fully,
dark?
fully
Okay.
lit, fully lit. Like,
So you're not like walking through shadows?
no, it's
Okay.
not shadowy. It doesn't even look spooky, that part.
Okay.
So I thought it was a kid. Yeah,
Right.
I didn't think, oh, it's something, whatever. I thought kid. So I feel there was a couple of taps and some firm tugs on my t-shirt. My whole t-shirt moved like that. It's firm. So at the same time, I had my drummer and my peripheral vision over here. I had the next dude over and my peripheral vision over there. Nevertheless, next room, I walk over to Mark and I say, Mark, well, why were you trying to get my attention? And he looks at me puzzled and says, I wasn't trying to get your attention.
Didn't do it.
No. 2 rooms down, we are told about a small boy and a small girl that are known to walk around these streets. And there's actually a shrine to the little girl. And Mark looks at me and he's like, didn't something, I was like, yeah, we'll talk about this once we're out of here.
We'll talk about it later.
Yeah, so we get out there, I explain him about it, and we're both like, wow, okay.
Oh, wow.
And that is an experience which I will never forget.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
We've experienced some things like that, but I've never been touched. More like we thought someone was in the home with us, to the point where it was so violent on the outside of the door, I got my taser out.
Really?
Expecting that like a vagrant had walked in off the street, because it's an old house in Savannah, Georgia.
Oh, fantastic.
And very, very haunted, and it was so violent and loud, and we could hear the footsteps, we could hear like banging and hitting the doors and people slamming doors, and I was petrified. It was after doing the tours and we were closing down, and it's a drunken city. You know, people are allowed to drink on the streets, and it's late, so we're like, oh great, somebody walked in, you know, and it's like, oh my god, are they destroying this place? I got my taser out, like prepared, waiting for someone to walk around the corner. There's nobody there.
That's amazing.
Nobody there. It's just Michael and I. No one there.
Yeah. That must have been a scary but amazing experience, right?
You're just kind of like, I gotta go. That's the only time I've ever had to like speed walk out of a house. I was like, I gotta go. I can't stay here, no.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Thanks for watching.
There's a couple different bands here tonight, and honestly, I don't know any of them. We don't know any of them. They're opening bands, but we've come here for Grendel, and this is their merch stuff right here. It is pretty awesome. The shirts, the designs, they're cool. Don't know much about it, but I kind of like that patch.
Pittsburgh!
So that was my first time seeing Grendel. And it was neat seeing them in Pittsburgh because Pittsburgh is a very industrial city, both with like music history and architecture. And it was amazing.
And it was my first time here in Pittsburgh, and we just happenstance that, sorry, pardon me, we happened to run into each other in a random city at the same time.
JD is his name, right?
JD, yes.
Yeah. Very nice guy, is the front man for Grendel. Didn't really get to talk with the other band members, but had a really nice conversation with him.
Yeah.
And that was awesome. Thank you.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
I did. I did.
Yeah. It was an amazing show. I mean, they never disappoint. It's always a very entertaining. The light shows, I'm always so impressed.
Yeah, the light. It was a very small venue, Cativo, here in Pittsburgh. At first, I was like, why are they playing there?
Though.
It was very intimate. Not many people were there, but the people that were there...
It's a Wednesday.
Yeah, it's the middle of the week. But the people that were there were like really into it.
Yes.
Die hard. They were playing some songs that they said from like 2012, back in the day, and people were just screaming at the top of their lungs the words to the songs and dancing. It was a blast. Yeah. Great show if you ever get the chance to see Grendel. And they just started their tour. They have a lot of cities. They might be coming to yours. Go see them.
Maybe below we can...
Yeah, we can link to them right below. So Grendel, check them out.
Wherever I come, bad luck is coming my way. Wherever I go, hard luck is there to stay. Good luck never stays a day. Bad luck's always coming my way.